This special presentation was produced in high definition by WEDU, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota.
Tampa's close ties to Cuba are long-standing and historic. This prompted the Florida Orchestra to pursue a cultural exchange program with Cuban musicians. Last September, the orchestra's woodwind quintet traveled to Havana to perform and to conduct master classes for music conservatory students. It was a remarkable and groundbreaking trip. Some members of the group are here to talk about their experience and tell us about more Cuban trips ahead. It's all coming up next on Up Close. That is the Woodwind Quintet from the Florida Orchestra, performing some of the music they performed on a cultural exchange to Cuba, a trip that is just a preview of more exciting things to come. I'm Cathy Unruh. Welcome to Up Close. It was over a year in the planning, and the quintet's visit and concert in Havana was both thrilling and humbling. It was a trip that none will ever forget. On September 29th, the Florida Orchestra's Wind Quintet began their journey south to Cuba. It was the first phase of a multi-part cultural exchange between Tampa Bay and the island country.
And of course, I think, we all jumped at the opportunity, for something of this magnitude. How could we say no?
There are more recent scars in Miami. In Tampa, I think that the format is more focused on wanting a connection to one's heritage.
The streets of Havana feature historic buildings with a rich heritage.
Different than what I expected.
And an apparent level of need. This is only the second time since the Communist Revolution of 1959 that an American orchestra has been allowed to visit the nation. The 5 musicians taught master classes to students at a music conservatory in Havana. They were extremely impressed.
I didn't expect the level of playing to be so high there, especially in the students, because you picture that they don't really have anything, and they really don't have anything. They were more talented than a lot of students you hear here, and they didn't let these obstacles keep them from doing what they want to do.
They also attended a rehearsal by the National Symphony of Cuba at Havana's National Theater. The Wind Quintet concluded their visit with a concert that was enthusiastically received. The trip left them inspired and humbled by the hospitality.
Their attitude, to just can-do attitude, they were very positive, very, there was no complaining about anything. They were very gracious, and I think we could all learn, something as Americans with that.
After returning to Tampa, the quintet put on a concert at the Carrollwood Cultural Center. It was a chance to give back to the Bay Area some of what they experienced on their trip.
The people down there were the nicest people I've ever met. I was stopped on the street and, "Hi, how you doing? Where are you from?" And they were like, "Well, welcome to our country." Very warm people.
Whenever you meet a Cuban for the first time, it never feels like it's the first time. And I can tell from listening to them that that's what they felt.
Joining me are 3 members of the Florida Orchestra contingent that visited Cuba. Catherine Young-Steele is the principal oboist for the Florida Orchestra. Anthony Georgeson is the principal bassoonist. And Angela Cassett is the operations director for the orchestra. And thanks to all of you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
After seeing and hearing what we just did, tell us more about your impressions of Havana and Cuba.
Well, the whole experience was so overwhelming. There were times of complete emotional beauty and just overwhelming emotion, and then
What kind of emotion and about what?
Well, I think that for us to see the kinds of music that is such a part of their culture constantly. Music is on the street, it's in the hotel lobby, it's in the restaurants, it's in the concert hall, it's in the churches every night. And I think that to see such a love of music in general in the culture was really wonderful.
Especially for a musician, obviously. It's not like that as you walk down the street here everywhere.
Exactly. So. And live music especially, that I think is a major difference between here and there, is that here we have things played on, you know, on speakers in stores and in restaurants, and there it's live.